to say about this. And so I wrote the book Diversity Conversations. But you and I are not just interested in the work that we do in corporations. This is a way of life for us, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And so I see the radio show as an opportunity to talk to ordinary citizens around developing skills, practical skills, that they can effectively navigate conversations with people who see things in ways that are significantly different than what they see.
I would agree. And I would say that any listener, any person that's calling in, there's an opportunity for folks to really uncover their inherent strengths.
Right.
We don't have all the answers.
Right.
This is just a platform to be heard, to share a voice, right?
Right.
And then maybe get a nugget of a best practice or a nugget of, here's what I've done, why don't you try something?
Right.
We need to do something.
Right.
Right. And so I think that our listeners will be active listeners.
Right.
And not only will they call in, but they will engage in other conversations outside of listening to the show.
Can you give people one tip for how to effectively manage your biases? I'll start to give you a chance just to think since I just asked the question. One of the things that I would offer is that for those of you that right now are sort of defriending some of your family members at holidays, it's hard to talk because of all the political stuff. One of the mistakes that we're making is that if we are a person that's pro-Trump or pro-Hillary, when we see somebody that disagrees with us, we are literally painting them with a stereotypical brush of Trump. So everything that we don't like about Trump, we're painting those people with entirely that brush, or everything that we hate about Hillary, then we're painting them that way. And there's a technique called individual uniqueness. What we need to recognize is that whatever people's political views are, it's only a small part of who they are. So we have to begin to look at the rest of the person. They're a father, they're a parent, they golf, or they play basketball, or they play the piano, or they bowl. They're funny, they're a humorous person. We like to go fishing together. We've got to be able to look at who the rest of the person is. And I think if you do that, then you won't throw away people simply because of the ideological differences that exist with us around politics.
I think a good approach, maybe a 2 or 3 tiered approach. First, we have to pause.
Okay.
So when we're interacting with that difference that may trigger our, what I call hot button on bias,
Right.
let us pause.
Right.
And in that pause, allow it just to marinate. If it's 5 seconds, 15 seconds,
Right.
and silence is okay.
Right.
Then we have to identify the emotion from that hot button or that bias. So where is that bias coming from?
Right.
Is it coming from a learning from when I was a child?
Right.
Is it coming from my own insecurities? Is it coming from me protecting someone else's voice
Okay.
that's not being heard?
Okay.
That's driving that?
Right.
And so then once we understand this, have that pause, understand the bias, we have to be intentional, Eric, to either accept that bias,
Right.
it is who we are,
Right.
and that's who people are going to see,
Right.
or we have to reject it. So in rejecting the bias is where the work is.